What's up, boys? Today we're checking out Net.Attack, a coding bullet heaven where you can create entire skill chains that will eventually completely break the game. I haven't unlocked any of the other characters yet, but it looks like it just changes your starting casting condition things, so let's go ahead there and jump into the second map. I probably don't have enough to really buy much in the shop yet, but you can see over here this will execute whatever follows it every 500 milliseconds, and then this is our first basic attack, a laser on the nearest enemy within 4 nanometers, 6 damage, and it slows down the entire chain by 100 milliseconds. You can have multiple branches on here, and it will go as slow as the slowest one, so you kind of want to have them at a similar duration so that you won't slow them all down too much. This will allow us to trigger a bunch of different things off of that one. Oh, optimize. I really like these ones. You can fit them in anywhere on the chain and they'll speed up the entire thing. So I'll probably save 750 for that. And then it'll be kind of greedy, but if we can get a bunch of those, we'll be able to have super rapid fire lasers later on. So to start off, we have to sit on these to gather data, and then that will allow us to purchase stuff in the shop. So we have 550 right now. Bigger ones will give more. We might be too weak for that. The maps always seem to be the same, and you have a bit of a limited time here. You'll have to find a portal and move on to the next layer once you start running out of time. See if we can get a big one here and hopefully buy something to help us out. The graphics with the sprites and all are pretty basic, but the skill combination stuff is so cool. Let's see, 900, that's probably enough to get the optimize, and then every time it will re-roll. So this will allow us to do 2 parallel things at the same time. Titan ping is a lot of damage but very slow. Sets the player as the new executor. Triple ping. Oh, that would be a good like ending thing for lots of damage. For now, we'll probably move this up here to keep it clean and just have the optimize in the middle. We have to do that in there and then over there. Now we'll fire a little bit faster. We're down to 500, so it looks like there's actually a minimum time on that, I guess. Let me just check and make sure it works that way. So we're at 600, yeah, so it looks like we can't go any lower than 500 on that one. Wasn't aware of that, so there is a bit of a hard cap on how much value you can get out of the optimizers. And we'll want to go 750 for that one next. And I think that will actually be a pretty good boost. So you also get XP from killing these guys. We can get damage for everything. We can get cooldown time, or we can get area range. Out of these, I think we'll get a little bit of base damage to help out the lasers since we're trying to make those go as fast as possible. Want some decent base damage on them. We definitely need some more attacks, though. So 1 or 2 more nodes. That's the escape portal right there. We'll try to remember that's in the bottom right. Although once the area starts closing in, it will actually go towards that. So it's pretty easy to find. I don't know what that was. I don't think I've ever seen that big guy before. Okay, so we should be able to buy the triple ping now. It will slow it down by 100, but we're actually hard capped, so it won't actually slow us down that much. And then this one will trigger whenever this one hits an enemy. So that should be a pretty nice damage boost. Within 4 nanometers deals 21, so quite a bit more than that one. And then what do we want for the next one? That one's on kill, not the greatest. Double ping, that might actually be pretty good. Nuke, I tried that one before, and it's pretty slow in short range. I haven't really found a good combo for it, even though it is purple rarity. I think we would go for the double ping. It's 1800 though, which is pretty expensive. We'll probably have to wait until sometime into the next stage to go for that. But our damage should already be a bit better with the ping triggering on our pings. So I think Bytecoins are the XP gain. This gives you a 1% for every 100, so since we're going fairly low cooldown, that's going to be maybe 6% per level or so right now. I kind of like getting the data leech early on so that we get more data and can buy more cool stuff in the shop. Yeah, so it looks like we're spawning some ranged elite guys now that I'm on the second map. I think we got all the data here. So what we can do now is, let's get a bit of extra XP here. We can actually farm the enemies for XP and levels for a bit before we move on. There will be a notice in the bottom left as the firewalls start closing in around the outside, which should be fairly soon. Probably take some more data here. Yeah, the firewall's activated, so we'll hang around the exit portal and just go in at the last possible moment once we farm a bunch of XP. Let's get more data leech. My favorite one to get early on, I think. Try and get some AoE with the laser over here. Even more data leech. I don't know exactly what luck does. I'm guessing it's like the rarity of the things in the shop. That's about the only thing it could apply to. I don't know if there's like a stat screen in here. Yeah, I haven't seen anything for that. But you can freely open the coding page at any time, I think. And the enemies will also get harder towards the end, I think, so you have to be a bit careful about getting overwhelmed and cut off from the portal if you play greedy like this. We'll probably buy some stuff soon with all the data we have, so we'll grab a bit of luck for that. Alright, here's the firewall, so we're almost out of time. Let's go a bit more luck. Then we'll just go ahead and move on to the second layer. So in between each stage you get a sort of unique boost. You can get some pretty powerful stuff here. Pushes enemies away. Only adds 100, so that's not too bad, but it does go at the end of the chain, so it's kind of hard to fit in. Creates a circular zone, forcing all enemies inside to execute the following nodes. So we could stand in the middle of them and trigger a bunch of lasers all over the place, or we could add a free healing thing. This is a 3000 MS cooldown, so you don't really want to put that on your main damage thing, unless you want to do like a super burst thing with that % damage based on how slow it is, but that sounds like it would be pretty awkward having it be that long. I think I will grab this and just toss it down onto one of our free casters down here though. So with that, it'll be every 3.5 seconds we'll grab a bit of healing, because the healing in the game is actually fairly limited, so having a bit of that for free is pretty nice, I feel like. And then we'll try and rush up to the 1800 and grab the double ping. Let's see what else we got here that we want to grab next. That's fine. Ping doesn't add too much cooldown. Damage and range. A circular electric shockwave. Split only adds 50, so that's not too bad. Runs the child node once for each parent node and the node family ping. Oh, okay, that's actually really good for the builds. So for everything like this and this in front of it, it will trigger the thing behind it one extra time. So we can fit that in before the triple ping, and then that will be huge damage. Right now it would just be 2 because of those two. We could actually have this over here instead of in front of that. That would make it fire slightly faster. But I think having that trigger slightly more on the double ping is probably better. So we can do that over there, and then that over there. And then now our triple ping will trigger on our double ping. It'll be a bit slower, but it should be a lot more damage overall. Yeah, normally the only other way of healing I've seen is in the passive level up, so you can get a small percentage healed on each of these little data chips. Let's go ahead and get this big one while it's easy. Want to make sure we can always grab that without getting overwhelmed. Grab that XP before we leave. Let's see, more extract data, yup. Most fun upgrade we can get, just making huge skill chains that break the game. So here's our exit portal on the top right. See if there's any data hiding up here. Nope. Oh yeah, I didn't remember which one I went into here. This one, 600. So we can actually grab that now and see what else we've got. 590 probably won't be enough for anything. So we've got a ping that can split into two afterwards. That's similar to that. We have a Titan ping there that can go in the middle, but 2000 MS. I don't think I would use that on my main weapon. That's just so slow. Triple ping, but it has a kill, so kind of inconsistent. I'm not really sure what we want to grab over there, but for now we'll put this in between these two to make the triple ping go off a lot more. Oops. I guess we might take that just for a cheap one to fit up there, and then that would at least give one more on that one. Let's go a bit more XP gain. And then that was probably all of the data on this stage. So we'll just farm some XP now with our Giga splitting lasers. Let's go a bit of percent damage based on the cooldown time. And then more extract data. Even more extract data. Then we'll go a bit more flat damage, I think. Oh, you can freeze it. I've actually never seen that before. I've seen a couple healing pickups every once in a while as you kill enemies as well. That's the other source of healing. So our unique thing, following code 3 times. Ooh, 650 is kind of slow though. Each unit in range or push. I guess we'll take that. I don't know if I want to use it yet. And I think this can only ever be casted one time. Only once per tree execution, yeah, so we can't use it on that. It'll have to be on one of our damage dealers. Definitely don't want that. I don't think I want to put an on-kill thing on there. So it would probably just be that with 100 MS. We could also start doing a second one. Honestly, I don't hate grabbing the Titan ping because it's cheap, and then we'll just put it over here. And then that will just nuke the strongest HP enemy nearby every once in a while, and it won't slow down our main attack any. So this is determined by the ping node's amount before, so this would be a very good ending spot, actually. This is another on-kill thing. Ooh, and optimize. I think I'm probably going to grab that and look for one of those later on, though. We're at 950, and I would like to use that. So I'm going to have this little spot here just to keep my thing kind of clean. But it doesn't really matter, you can put them all over the place and it still functions, I believe. Let's see, 650, we're at 800, so it would be almost half the speed, but not quite. But we could do triple pings, and it would be kind of funny. It doesn't have a tag itself, but I think that's fine. So we're at 1450, but this will absolutely laser stuff now. And the next thing I wanted was... I don't think I looked at these. This one's fine, it's only 100 ms, and it's on hit as well. True port if this node has at least 4 parent nodes from the ping family. Oh, that would work, but it's 300 ms, so I think we'd probably just take that to not slow it down too much. Oh, we could actually use some range now to get those lasers going further out, I think, with how often they split all over the place. And one other thing I need to check is I think the flat attack speed thing is applied per node, the 0.05 or whatever. So we're at 1450. If I ever see one of those, I'll take that and check that to make sure. So that's a healing pickup, I think. So we didn't find it, but more extract data. Oh yeah, we can actually buy some stuff here as well. So that doesn't add any cooldown actually. Oh, it's the ends. You can't put anything else on there. Yeah, we'll probably just take the strong ping here. And then what else would we grab? There's another Titan ping. Well, we could put that on the other Titan ping. And then the very slow cooldown would give us a higher percentage damage boost, but I don't think that's really necessary. So we have one there, but it's on kill. I don't really like that. A laser at the nearest enemy. Total accumulated damage from previous ping nodes. Okay, that's a cool ending node then, I think. I kind of want to try that and see what happens. So next up, we have a triple ping on kill. Ooh, and optimize. We can add that in. Combine. Oh, I don't think I've seen something like that before. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I think we'll probably just grab the optimize. Toss that into our little area over here. Keep that cooldown super low, so 1300 now. And I think we'll put that at the very end. So what we'll probably do is just have the triple ping going into the other side. And then the cooldown on that shouldn't really matter since this chain will be the longest one. And then we can have this somewhere in the long one. Oh yeah, we want something decent behind that. So I guess the strong ping fits that decently. And then let's see what this thing looks like. Okay, it doesn't show us exactly what it does, but I guess it basically doubles the other damage from the ping nodes, since we're all ping up here, other than that one since that's a different branch. And then the next thing we wanted was probably just the strong ping. Oh wait, that would be cool as well. That's determined by the ping node's amount before. Okay, we probably want that one for 600 then. See if we can get some AoE clearing here and then grab this one. So portals in the top right here. There might have been a small little area in the bottom left that I didn't quite fully explore. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if that works on every node. So we're at plus 800. I think it does. So we're at 755, so minus 45, so yeah. That applies to every node, so the longer your chain, the more valuable that becomes. go a bit more now that we have quite a few things in the chain and we're constantly building on it. I think that will be pretty good now. Then we'll take a bit of flat damage here. Then even more attack speed. Oh yeah, what does that do to the optimizers? I think it does work correctly with those plus 15. They were probably a base of 50 or 150. Then we'll grab some more luck here. Let's make sure we can break through this wall before the fire closes in. Ooh, we can pause it a bit, get a little bit more XP. Then a bit more XP value here. For each unit in range, for active chips. Child nodes once per intact data chip. Okay, those are the currency things we loot on the ground, so this makes you start off strong but get weaker as the round goes on, which I kind of don't like because the round itself gets harder as you go on, more enemies will spawn, and for a 500 MS cooldown that feels kind of bad. Following code 2 times, I guess that's not bad. Kind of a long cooldown compared to what we have currently. Although, we could put it over here and buff that one up a bit. Just have a decently strong second branch. I'm not really in love with any of these. We could also just have that one over there. I think we'll probably just go with the 4 and build up the second branch a bit. So plus 665, we want to make sure we don't increase that for something that isn't even our main branch. So that's still fine. And over here, I think we were adding the strong ping? Yeah, only 85 isn't too bad. For each unit in range, push, combine. I actually don't really like any of these. And there's actually a really cool thing that increases the number of casts based on the total rerolls you have. So I kind of want to save all of those and just buy something cheap and then basically never use it, I think. Just to reroll. So did that put that up here? Yeah, we'll just throw that down here. So we have an optimize there. I'll probably grab that at 750 and we'll put this into the big chain up here. Let's just move these over a bit to make it a bit prettier, I think. So that increases the cooldown a bit, but it will scale up everything that is dependent on the number of pings we have. That goes onto the strong ping. I guess that's fine. We might actually want that on the amplified, actually, since that would triple our doubler. I don't know if that works, but if it does, it's kind of crazy. So we want to move this over to that, and then this is free. And then we'll have that in the same way to keep it kind of pretty so we can see where everything's going. So we'll do that, and then that. And then hopefully that amplifies that, basically. And we'll get crazy multipliers based on the total number of pings we have, and then 750 for the next cooldown reduction. If you really think about it, the skill system is pretty similar to Path of Exile, but there's no limit on the number of support gems you can eventually fit in there, or the total number of spells you can cast either. Oh yeah, we can grab the optimizer. And what else? Split, ping, with a fairly low cooldown, wouldn't mind that. Triple ping, but it's an on-kill chain, which I don't really like that much. Could toss that somewhere over there. I'm fine just grabbing something with a pretty low cooldown though. We have a triple ping that would end something there. Select hacker. So it's the player. We have a ping with a low cooldown there. That's the same as that. We could probably just grab that for the low cooldown. So we'll want to fit this in front of the 4, and we'll want the optimize over here. Where's that thing going? Over there. So plus 585, not too bad of a cooldown for having such an insane chain. This will slow it down a little bit. So we'll go over to there, and over to there. So portal's on the top right again here. We could probably use some more range on the weapons again if I see that upgrades. And I'll probably stop taking the XP value since it's kind of late for greed, but these are all kind of greed. I guess luck for the shop then. I think purple is the highest rarity, and I think I haven't seen many ping-based things you can buy in purple either. I don't know if there's any cool legendary weapons yet. So it looks like we've got this map done. And here's the firewall coming in. So here's some range, I definitely want some of that. I don't know if the fire instantly kills you or not. We have 5, 6, and 7 left. We're close to maxing that out though, so I guess we can try to do that. Never maxed any of those out yet either. So our uniques, if ping before is greater than 4, then import can be triggered only once per tree? I don't know what exactly that's for, but it has a fairly long cooldown for the difficulty of completing the condition. Like if we toss that somewhere in here, that would be bad for the most part. Unless we could put it over here, I guess. But I don't know exactly what that would accomplish. But none of these are that great. I guess we'll get that and maybe play with it later on. Over here, I wanted the low cooldown ping thing, I think. That would have to end something. Not sure if we really want to do anything with that. Let's see, we have a strong ping there with a low cooldown. That would have to end this stuff. Damage and range. Combine. So we probably want this up here somewhere. I guess we could have it like up here and then have them all split off of that. And then everything behind that would be slightly stronger, I guess. So we'll move that there. We'll have this one go to here. And then this one goes into that. And we'll try to pretty that up a bit. I guess we can also move that one up there in case I want anything off of there. Again, that's all just cosmetic, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one's kind of confusing because it's such a long cooldown. I don't know if there's like something specific that can only go into true outports or something. Let's see, what do we want next? Strong ping is decent. Yeah, I think we'd probably take that, and we do have enough for that. And then next up we have an optimize to get the cooldown even lower. We can toss this into something up there. It's getting kind of hard to see everything though. Let's have our ending piece kind of down here, and then we'll have some more room to have all of that stuff over here. So 750 for the next optimize. And at layer 5, we'll want to transition out of the greedy stuff into more like combat power. Alright, the optimizer. What do we want next? Fast ping is good. Oh, that actually lowers the cooldown as well. Okay, that's a great connector in the middle. And then next up, we could grab a strong ping. I think that's decent. So I'll put that in the little optimize chain. And then fast ping will be up here somewhere. Don't think that matters too much. We can just have that like over here, I guess. Now we're down to only plus 560 for this insanely long chain, thanks to all our optimizers and the occasional fast ping. And the amplified ping, based on all of the pings before it, should be absolutely crazy. Well, we can max it out. We only have 2 layers left for it, but may as well. Oh, 60% luck, wow. I guess there's a big boost at 5 and 10 on those. So here's our exit portal. I think I like node time now that we have so many things in the chain and we're close to the level 5 breakpoints. Try and get some good levels on that one now as well. Oh yeah, Explodey Boys. Or in no time? Ooh, minus 20, that's a big one. Although, I guess the luck would have made sense there as well. Right as we're about to get our unique pick. So we've got a purple optimize, that's really good. We can't even fully use that, actually. Sounds good. Now we can really pump up the cooldown on that if needed. Strong ping is only 60 now. Where did that go? Up here, it looks like? Yeah. I feel like if there's an open area, it should try to drop that somewhere instead of like right on top of your stuff. It's kind of hard to see that sometimes. Explosive ping. Explosion that deals damage. It doesn't have any sort of unique effects or anything though. Amplified ping. Accumulated damage from previous ping nodes. That's kind of hard to get good value out of now. A 4-part sequence. I'm actually not sure exactly how that works, like if it slows them down or what. Kind of hard to use any of these. We could just toss the explosive ping onto that open slot, I suppose. That one won't do a whole lot. Unless it's in this chain, but we already have an ending point there. Yeah, I guess we'll probably just grab that. And then next up, we would probably take fast ping, which probably won't do anything, but it would add an extra ping for anything reliant on that. So now we'll have the absolute minimum cooldown we can get. Strong ping can go anywhere up here, I think. Then explosive ping goes onto here. Probably doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, I guess we could actually try this. I don't think that will slow me down any over here. So we're at 460. And then we can see if that has any special thing for the explosive ping, I guess. I don't really understand that. So top left for the portal here. And then let's see what we want to do with all of that. There's a fast ping there that's basically free, pumps up any of our ping stuff. We have a ping there. 60 MS probably doesn't do anything with the overkill we have on the optimizers, so that's fine. That seems to be the same except slightly less damage. So I guess we may as well take that one. We have another optimize. That's an on kill. We could fit it into like the explosive ping though, or the other triple ping, and that would be fine. But we could also get that for making sure that our cooldown is always extremely low. I think it's fine since we have the fast ping anyways, we can just put that on something. And then next up, we would probably take a strong ping, I think. So these two go into the main chain. We could probably have this off of that, and then have both of those off of that, I think. So this will go over here. Wait, no, I need the main thing off of that. Can I, like, take that off of there to make those easier to see? So this one will go over to here. And let's make these a little bit prettier as well. That goes into there. I guess we can have that up there. And then this goes over to here and this to here. And then we want to fit this one into the main chain up here. And then this is onto any of the branches, and we're making sure that doesn't increase anything. On kill, we could probably just have that on the triple ping. And then probably just grab the strong ping next at 600. So we're at 460 still, perfect. What does that do when I'm completely maxed? It'll probably just be 5 off of that. Yeah, I think so. 40 for all the levels plus the level 5 bonus. That'll probably be the most damage now, especially if we can get that up to 5 then. So we're on the final layer, and as far as I'm aware, oh, I'll go over that later, on player hits. Oh, this is a new, like, casting thing. Triggers it 10 times. Interesting, but no, definitely too late to try and do something with that. Runs the child nodes once per intact data chip on the current layer. We actually might be able to fit that into one of the secondary branches without increasing the cooldown with all those optimizers. Yeah, I'm not in love with any of those, so we might be able to fit that in with no downside now. We don't have enough for anything over there. Let's try and put that on the triple ping, see if that increases the cooldown any. 30 MS, I guess that's fine. So I don't think there's a boss or event or anything that you had to do to leave this level. I believe you win the game right after you go into the exit portal of this level. So you might want to add some little mini-boss or survival event or something to finish off this level. No time. Sure, that actually brings us back down to the minimum, probably. Yeah, 455. A little bit of a bonus there on top of that. We can see if there's anything to squeeze in right before the end. Another ping, probably no downside. Strong ping, bit better damage, sure, why not? And then that's on kill. Another optimize, probably not necessary, but it'll look funny. So just toss that over there, I guess. And then strong ping goes into something over here. And now this should be absolutely insane based on the previous ping nodes. About as many as I can squeeze into there. Oh, here's the reroll thing I was talking about. So it runs the child nodes once for each remaining reroll, so that would have been 8 times here, which would have been insane. Unfortunately, we were just short of having enough data to fit that in, but we could have had that on one of the crazy nodes towards the end here, and that should have been absolutely nuts. You might have to complete all of the data chips for the exit portal to appear. I'm actually not sure on that. Yeah, I guess not. So, we win. Thanks for playing Net.Attack. Selected difficulty 2. You can take a look at your code again if you want to see that. So, a lot of optimizers, and then as many pings as we could get, especially focusing on the fast pings, since those actually lower your cooldown as well. And build up your ping chain to make the amplified ping a lot stronger. A couple tiny little branches we were experimenting with. I still don't know exactly what the true thing is. It just seems to have sort of a long cooldown there, so there must be something pretty strong I'm missing. Oh, this one didn't even have 4 pings before it. So we actually completely messed that up. It would have only fit in here. I completely forgot about that. Oops. But, oh well. Didn't matter too much since it was only a secondary branch instead of the main thing we were really scaling up there. So we actually unlocked a new character on Corruption Tick. I have no idea what that is, so I kind of want to take a look at his starting stuff real quick. So that's the normal thing, although it's slower, right? 800 ms on tick. I think so. If the total number of infection stacks across all enemies reaches the threshold. Oh, that has to do with this thing. Projectile at a random enemy, up to 3 enemies. Each hit deals 2 damage and applies 3 infection stacks. So I don't know if infection does anything itself. It says poison, so it must have some sort of damage over time, right? But that will then feed into this, which can then trigger a lot faster at 400 ms. And then it looks like he has different attacks available as well. Can hit up to 3 enemies, applies 3 infection stacks, so up to 9 total for unlocking those faster. Brute force packets. Can hit up to 3 enemies, a rear firing shotgun. Interesting. But yeah, that's going to be the first look at the game. Pretty cool. Some pretty crazy stuff you can do as you learn that stuff. Not too bad for the first run, I think. We did make a few mistakes, and I don't fully understand it, but I don't know anything about coding, so I did what I could. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.